Valloire respire le ski de compétition. On a une piste, la Cétase, là, qui est vraiment exceptionnelle, qui est digne d'une des plus grandes pistes de Coupe du Monde en géant.
Down in the valley and make life extra difficult for this second run has disappeared somewhat. It's moved back up to the top of the mountains. We had a little bit of snow falling as well. There's still some light snow precipitation around. You can see some is stuck to the trees as well, which was making it for a pretty challenging first run. This second run, the top 30 from the first run get underway in just about 4 minutes time, and then we will run from 31st after the first run down to Turo Torvinen from Finland in 60th, top 60 all getting a second run, but of course we do flip that first run, and Hayata Wakatsuki from Japan will be first to go with a really strong run into 30th place from bib 50. We've got a new pattern of gates that have been set for this second run, which I'm pleased to say. And that second run course has been set by Justin Bernard from France. The skiers have had their inspection. Looks like a little bit more blue dye out on the course, though it was pretty flat-like conditions for that first run. Very hard. It's still flat-like now, of course, as you can all tell. The trees do help provide a little bit of definition, as do the bee netting at the side of the course. Amazing World Cup performance on Sunday in slalom. For those outside of the 30, they're going to have to hope that they can step it up, find a bit of a flyer on the second run, maybe get into the top 30 for some World Cup points. Well, the town of Valloire, famous for hosting finish of the Tour de France, fourth stage in 2024, called the Telegraph, called the Galibier, not far away. A lot of the skiing here in the Valloire-Valmenier area is above 2,000 meters, over 150 kilometers of slopes, 33 lifts, 2 gondolas, 17 chairlifts, 14 drag lifts, if you like a drag lift. So a lot of terrain in this part of the world. Yeah, we could do with some fresh snow for the Christmas period and into the new year. I'm sure it will come. I'm sure it will come. They've done a fantastic job in prepping this hill for the race. Not easy with fairly mild conditions for this time of year. And it held up okay, given the number of skiers that were on it, of course. So, in the World Cup, do beg your pardon, it's Europa Cup. Europa Cup standings, Tobias Kastlunger in the lead at the moment with 160 points. I've got my calculator ready. We'll look at the Europa Cup standings after today. And certainly for tomorrow's race. Same timings for tomorrow. I'll be with you in the commentary box for a race of the season. 4 runners in the gate, and it will be Wakatsuki who will be first to go. This doesn't look like Wakatsuki.
Allemand, anglais, français, italien sûr. Hollandais. Ah oui, c'est vrai qu'il est belge.
Wakatsuki will be getting ready to go. There he is now. Did well from bib 50, didn't he, to get into the top 30. 2.61 back off of Graal Madsen, and the 26-year-old knows he's got a good opportunity with a clean race course. Just the 4 runners. Been a regular in Giant Slalom on the World Cup Tour, has yet to qualify in his career. Good opportunity for a healthy point score here if he can get this right. We'll see after the 30 where it all holds up. So Certainly we don't have those clouds on the course like we had earlier. So Wakatsuki gets the second run underway here in Valloire. In Finley in the commentary box. And the top 30 from run 1 going in reverse order. Let's see what sort of time Wakatsuki can set here. This section, one of the trickier bits, and again a little bit off camber as well. Heavy on that right foot, but smooth skiing from the Japanese man. Only 3 starts this Northern Hemisphere winter, all 3 World Cups, hasn't qualified in any of them yet. He was down in Australia and New Zealand in the Southern Hemisphere winter. Wakatsuki finding a little bit of room to get into the tuck there, so certainly more open through that. Looking like a strong opening section from the Swiss skier. Running pretty deep in the line there, looking for the speed through this part of the course. But again, where it straightens up, that is where you've got to find that tuck position. We saw Wakatsuki manage to do it over the roll and then round through this next section, and Bissig, no problems for him. Has a 1/10 of a second advantage on my time check, half a second on the graphic as well. So we get different time checks here, so that is useful. Gives us a nice picture. I'll try and, well, you can all read the one, hopefully, on the graphic, and I'll have a look at the live timing as well, get a good sense through here. So 2.59 back from the leader after the first run, and Bissig into the finish area, 0.67 quicker than Wakatsuki from Japan, so he drops the second. Andrei Dukharov from Lithuania. Now he has just 0.03 of a second over Bissig. Nothing in this game. 28th after the first run. Again, got to look for the line through this section. Perhaps just push back a little late in the line there, and this drone shot gives us a really good picture of this race course. Behind on the splits at the moment is Dukharov. Thomas Lardon now for France, 27th after the first run. 0.14 of a second, his advantage over Bissig, who leads, and the 24-year-old from Alpe d'Huez underway. 18th and 25th in the opening Europa Cups of the season. See if he can go a little better than that, but he's going to have to make up some time. Climb a few places on the second run. I think one of the gates just being squeezed back in. 100th of a second down. It's still very much within reach of Lardon. You can see on the live timing, 0.15. There is some different times for you. The finish time's all the same, though, don't worry, it's all matching up just where the on-screen graphics are set. And the live timing a little different. And now Lardon, very smooth, very clean through this section. Let's see what the clock says. 0.13. Okay. Going to plan. He's got the advantage. Now, we did see Dukharov lose quite a bit of time on this bottom section. Lardon, he's going to have to ensure that he doesn't if he wants to go into top spot. And there's little quick changes of direction. Got to be very clean through there. Bit of a heavy edge set coming out, but let's see the time. Lardon drops into third place. So 1/10 of a second. Very good final section of gates from Bissig from Switzerland. Good look.
Il part 40. Là, il y a le Norvégien après.
Allez gros, hein. Allez mon gars, allez solide.
Allez 40 parti. Le 28 au départ. Ah ben Auguste, ouais. Ah ben lui il envoie. Allez, allez.
Allez,
Now from France, looking to put the host nation into top spot. This is our only giant slalom stop in France on the Europa Cup Tour this season for the men. Over the roller, almost gets airborne. 0.22 is advantage. Through this final section of gates, another 15 seconds or so, maybe a little less for Alnet. Again, focusing on the line through that section. Here you want to be as direct as possible. Build that speed through the foul line. Runs it a little low there. That could be costly or not. 0.16 goes into top spot. Could have had a bigger margin. An error towards the bottom of the run. It's left a little bit out there for the Frenchman, but into top spot for now. Nick Spori now from Switzerland, 24th after the first run, just over a 1/10 of a second. His advantage, 25-year-old, 26th and 13th in the opening Europa Cup giant slaloms of the season. Top to get the direction he needed for the next turn. 700th back on the live timing. But remember, Alnet did make that mistake 2 gates from home. Strong work through here for Spori. Well, 0.31 of a second back, so work to do. It'll be interesting to see on the bottom split, or the finish, on the finish line, if how much that mistake impacted Alnet's time. Just a little off the gate there, but it is one of the steeper parts of the course, and Spori from Switzerland goes into 4th place. Didn't lose much of the last section, but the damage done further up. Time for a little slip. Isaiah Nelson, bib 35 into 23rd on the first run. A hair under 2/10 of a second his advantage. And Nelson looking to consolidate with a good result here. A Europa Cup point score, always handy. And the 24-year-old from Buck Hill, Minnesota, underway. Didn't race in Zinal. So these, if he can finish in the points, which you'd think he would if he stays upright, help him with the start position, the Europa Cup start list. Nelson through this midsection. The visibility certainly better than it was in the first run. on the first run, I should say. Quarter of a second at Nelson's advantage. And the man from Minnesota. Do like this drone shot, gives us a great picture. Oh no! Out of the course, and it was all going so well.
Le 14 parti.
Le 48.
Le
48.
48 au départ.
Essayer de changer le téléphone et puis changer le téléphone. C'est pas mal non plus. Toujours de la pression. Il y a un village quand même. Ouh, on cherche. Ouh, c'est court. Il va bouger.
Stéphano, belle deuxième manche également pour Stéphano. En piste, ready, Carrick Smith.
48 parti.
Other than
Deuxième manche
all
également
net
pour,
from France.
Stéphano.
There's the scene.
En piste,
The finish area, I think that is the leader's chairlift, solo chairlift. Reminds me of a little bit of Glencoe up in Scotland, or Glen Shee back in the day. Now, Freddie Carrick Smith, bib 48 into 21st. Really good first run from Freddie, and difficult snow at the fourth fastest second split as well. Tells you how talented this young man is. A lot of eyes on him, taking the start on the World Cup Tour just for the experience, skiing for enjoyment, individual progression. That is the key thing for Freddie.
Come on, Eric. Let's go, Rick. Kim jetzt. Allez hop! Allez hop, Kim! 42 parti.
Le 17.
Le 17 au départ.
Ah, Pierrot, dis donc. Pierrot, il fait une bonne course d'Algérie et puis là,
A second through the steeper pitch. 2:29.57, the leading time for Carrick Smith. And Eric Reed goes into second place, 0.4 of a second back, showing that that bottom section from Carrick Smith was exceptional, and now he's climbed a spot. So Theodor Brekken now from Norway. Doesn't have much, 0.05 of a second. His advantage for Braken. Currently running good enough for third place. Braken, a man that the Norwegian Federation have high hopes for. Good midsection here, very clean and precise. That might be reflected in the clock. It is a 1/10 of a second. So Braken moving in the right direction on this second run. A little bit late there, pinches it, having to make some adjustments here, potentially losing a bit of time, but hard to tell from my angle there if he is going to lose a little bit of time. 2:29.57, don't forget the target time. That is the target time. And into third, 0.76 back. So they're getting close on the top splits, but not the bottom split. Carrick Smith moving up 2 spots. There he is, self-funded, relying on the generosity of so many people to get onto the start line. It's a real challenge, a real family outfit for the 3 Carrick Smith boys. Just Freddie here in the start today. Adam Hofstede, Youth Olympic champion in slalom. 0.06 of a second his advantage, 18th after the first run. A little bit of time on that top section, 0.17 behind, but Hofstede's a quality skier. Very attacking, very aggressive where he needs to be, and that's why you're here on Europa Cup, learning how to use that aggression, where to take the risk, where to just settle, focus on good, clean skiing. You can see there's a lot of risk in there from Hofstede, 0.97. Hofstede might just be a little frustrated. He's going to drop some places here on this second run. Zone, and then everyone else relatively tightly packed in this second run. Kato now for Japan, just 0.14 of a second his advantage over Carrick Smith, 23rd after the first run. Get that right, 16th after the first run, looked at the wrong bit, apologies. 0.02 of a second on that first split. And the Japanese skier skied from bib 32 into 16th. A good run late in the line here. He's in big trouble. Recovers, stays on. We've had a DNF for Isaiah Nelson. And Kato with one massive error in the run. So somebody outside, 2 skiers outside of the top 30 are already guaranteed to finish in the 30. And Kato is a long way back here. He goes into 14th place, 4.24, but you all saw the mistake from Kato. No, Zwischenbrugge. He's 1.55 seconds back off of the first run lead. Has 0.27 of an advantage over Carrick Smith, who still leads for Great Britain. 5 places he's climbed in the second run. Zwischenbrugge, 15th after run 1. They're going to get closer and closer to Carrick Smith's time, but again, that bottom section was exceptionally strong. He's not lost much, just 0.05 of a second on that split. And Zwischenbrugger through this section. This is where a few skiers have made a mistake, and Zwischenbrugger late in the line has to recover, and he'll feel that 2 or 3 gates on as well. That could be very costly for the Austrian. Carrick Smith just quite happy in the leader's chair. Like having a leader's chair on Europa Cup. 0.23 now. The leader's chair. Like having a leader's chair on Europa Cup. 0.23 now. Zwischenbrugger behind. The light is red after a good top section, but a tricky midpoint. Same area where Kato had his mistake. Carrick Smith, Eric Reed, Theodor Bracken still the 1, 2, 3. Eric Reed's moved up 4 places in the final run as well. Zwischenbrugger goes into 5th place, 1.28 back. Costly mistake. And Zwischenbrugger out of the gate, out to the finish area pretty quickly there. Guillaume Fevre now, 14th after the first run.
Ah, c'est collé là.
Beautiful skiing from Mühlenschult, and but 0.79. So he had him on the top section, but Carrick Smith absolutely flawless, although I'm sure they will look back and find plenty areas to improve on the bottom section. Has moved up 6 places on the final run. Bridger, Guile from the USA next to go. 1.48 back off of the Norwegian, who leads. 0.36 at that first split for Guile. We've seen a lot of green lights on the top section, but it's the bottom section where things have changed. So Bridger Guile at this second time check, and he's still got 0.12 of an advantage. They really are getting closer. .229.57. And 3rd place for Bridger Guile, but half a second back. Carrick Smith has now moved up 9 spots on this second run.
Allez,
Fadri Jantan now 1.43 back off the Norwegian who led after the first run. His advantage over the Brit who leads 0.39 after run 1. 1100th of a second his advantage. Jonathan 2:29.57, Carrick Smith's time. And the Swiss skier behind into 9th place.
Le 26 parti. Le 13 au départ.
Patrick Kenny underway for the USA. 1.4 back now at the first split, 1400ths of a second. And the American still on a charge. It was a good first run from Patrick Kenny to get into 10th place. See if he can hold it. Well, the time is going 0.32 at the next split that I can see. And the American losing a bit of time on this midsection. Carrick Smith now moving up 11 spots as Patrick Kenny goes into 7th place on the final run of the second run. Para now from France.
Le 10.
Le 10 au départ.
Zurbrugg on course, he had half a second advantage at that time check. But we've got to see how all these skiers handle this bottom section. They are falling by the wayside. Are we looking at a podium perhaps for Freddie Carrick Smith? 0.32.
Prochaine. 3 parties.
Sixth after the first run. 0.68 his advantage. He's lost a little bit of time. 0.55. The advantage drops to, but that's still quite a lot. But in tricky snow conditions, and a huge margin going into the final section, normally in ski racing, but we see Karlslunga, we've seen a lot of skiers having some big problems on the bottom section of the course, just in terms of time. The snow conditions are tricky out there. Is Karlslunga going to challenge? No, he goes into fourth. So Karlslunga dropping. And now we get into some very big advantages, don't we? Carrick Smith. I'm sure he can quite believe what's happening here. Fifth after the first run, Mikael Remsoy. 0.71 his advantage. Don't forget the Norwegian who will be last to go of the 30. Gral Madsen has 0.8 of a second on everybody else in the field. In second, well, from 0.8 of a second over second place. Remsoy still up at the moment. Key time check here, and what's he got over Carrick Smith? Nothing. He's lost more time. 0.15 for the Norwegian. Carrick Smith likely going to see off another challenger. And what a second run it's been for Freddie Carrick Smith from Great Britain. Little mistake there for Remsoy. More time lost for the Norwegian, and he goes into 10th place. So Carrick Smith and Eric Reed now dreaming of a Europa Cup podium. That first split not key. It's the finish line. That is the one, obviously, in ski racing that matters, but we're seeing so many skiers. Big mistake, and he is out of the course. Brakvig is out. We do have a tie for third after the first run, so the podium is not confirmed yet. Next up, Hallberg, winner of the second race in Zinal. Carrick Smith knows, just needs to see one more skier off, and he is on the Europa Cup podium. What an achievement. What a day it's already been for the Brit. It's by far a Europa Cup best for the 18-year-old. Absolutely stunning performance. Hold on to those skis now. Hallberg has over a second on Carrick Smith. This is a man that's been on the World Cup podium in slalom this season. A second is a lot. You all know that. But the way this course is running on this second run, it is proving difficult. Not too dissimilar to what we've seen in Val d'Isère over the weekend as well. So Hallberg underway. One of the big names in ski racing at the moment. 0.96. Has lost a little bit of time, but still has a lot to play with. And with these sort of margins, surely he's going to take it close. Oh, little error there, but it's okay. Maintains the speed through this section. The next time check is going to be absolutely critical for Hallberg from Finland. Got to attack at this stage, but the snow conditions might not be allowing for the type of skiing that he'd really want to do. And he's still got an advantage, but most of it has gone from the start gate. 0.17. This might be the closest we've seen anyone get to Carrick Smith. If Carrick Smith stays in top spot, he is on the Europa Cup podium.
4 parties.
And it's Hans Graal Madsen. A huge advantage. 1.82 his advantage over Carrick Smith. That is a lifetime in ski racing. But we have seen all of these time gaps go, and Carrick Smith watching the Norwegian that blasted into the top 10. He's lost some time, 1.66. If he comes at the next time check with over a second, that would be very, very handy.
On va vite appeler les 3 premiers Maquis, qui appellent les 3 premiers. Valberg, Kaslinger, and Greg Maxon, we need you to take the picture. Here's the stage, the podium.
Avec Varap, j'aimerais bien pouvoir produire un album. Donc, par exemple, un 8 titres avec 8 artistes, 8 compositeurs. Mais comment je pourrais financer ça?
I can't believe that.
Outstanding performance today from Carrick Smith, showing that Emma Carrick Anderson, Phil Smith doing great things with all three boys, but for Freddie, winning on the Europa Cup Tour. He's had success, of course, at the World Junior Championships in the under-18 category. European Youth Olympic Festival, he won the GS B2, moved up 16 places, but Freddie Carrick Smith started 48th. He's not going to be starting 48th too much longer on the Europa Cup, is he? Moved up 20 places on the final run. Freddie Carrick Smith's second run was 0.44 of a second quicker than anybody else. That is how to do it. We've still got another 30 skiers to watch. The spots up for grabs in the top 30, of course. We've had 28th finish, so a couple of skiers are going to pick up some points. But Freddie Carrick Smith is the winner.
We need you because we will take some picture.
Well, what a day for the young man. There'll be a quick flowers ceremony as well before we get on with the 30.
Allez, on attaque avec la 3e place. Allez, en 3e place, Baptiste. Mr. Albert.
So we'll have the quick flowers ceremony. The race, of course, still has 30 more skiers to go. As a result, the top 3 all confirmed. Congratulations to Edward Hallberg. 0.19 off the pace, showing he is a dual discipline threat, isn't he? In slalom and in giant slalom.
Et le premier, il est sorti. Podium, Slalom.
Hallberg should go into the lead of the Europa Cup standings.
Merci, messieurs.
He's been so strong this season,
Thank you very much.
sitting in second in the Europa Cup standings and 60 points today. Congratulations to all three men on the podium. And of course, I imagine more World Cup starts await for Freddie Carrick Smith in Alta Badia at the weekend. Catch it all on FIS TV, of course. Well, fantastic scenes here. A delighted Carrick Smith with the victory. Consistent skiing from Hallberg today and throughout the season with that podium on the World Cup Tour in slalom. We've still got a little bit more to go. Zingeli now for Italy.
225 parties. 18 au départ.
So Zingeli, 31st after the first run. Nobody's going to challenge, of course, the top athletes on this second run. However, you've just got to go in and do your best on the second run. Maybe try and climb into the 30. Two skiers came out. So the Italian, you'll see the time checks. He's a long way back off of Carrick Smith. And Zingeli, he's going to go into the top 20, but can he go ahead of at least Kato? Goes into 28th place, pushes Kato down to 29th. Livio Simone is next to go. Start intervals, of course, have shortened for these later starters on the second run. 60 on the start list, and Livio Simone next up. Let's not worry too much about the splits at the moment. It's all about the finish position for these skiers. See if anyone can find something. We've seen it on the first run with the likes of Eric Reed, Carrick Smith, Mühlenschultz, that you can get in there from the high bib numbers. They've got to try the same approach, and Simone doing that here. Goes into 29th place. We'll see if he holds on. There's not going to be any change in the lead. Carrick Smith, the first British Men's Europa Cup podium since, I believe, Charlie Raposo in Hinterstoder in 2019. DNF for Leo Baraldi. Just double check that. Yes, sorry, for Joel Lutolf, a DNF. So Leo Baraldi is on course. He's all fine at the moment. Running 1.41 off the pace on the top split. Just looking for Baraldi now. Not sure where he is. A bit further off, damage done in the first run for Baraldi today. And Baraldi through this mid-section of the course. Paul Silvestre, DNF for France, and Christian Borgnes from Denmark, also DNF. It's not easy out there on the second run. So a few DNFs coming in. Baraldi went into 29th place. Time just to do a little bit of course slipping. Well, Great Britain have had some Europa Cup wins in the past. In slalom, Billy Majors won, Charlie Guest, Laurie Taylor, Dave Riding, Alan Baxter. They're your Europa Cup winners in Alpine skiing for Great Britain. Not many. Nobody's ever won in giant slalom. Just the one Europa Cup giant slalom. But not a victory. Carrick Smith joins an elusive group of British skiers to have won at the top. Being on the top step of the Europa Cup podium. Zucchini is underway for Italy. Cooper Puckett from the USA started bib 41. 3.98. Got to be a little closer. This is what we're looking. Can anyone here get into the top 30? It's going to be very tricky. Cooper Puckett, a DNF for him. Been a few more DNFs on this second run. Hugh Marchand on course. We've seen at this stage, so opportunity here. Be smart on the bottom section. Aggressive where you can. Really feel the snow conditions. And he might have a chance of just picking up a Europa Cup point or two. From bib 30, he'll be disappointed to be outside of the 30 after the first run. But all you can do is try and squeeze in. And I can tell you that Hugh Marchand has gone into 30th place. He's climbed 12 spots on the final run. Andre Moser now for Switzerland. 43rd after run one. Moser splits looking okay. Can he do it? Can he get in? It's not going to be far away from the 30th place. And Moser crosses the line 30 seconds, so just missing out. Hugh Marchand, the big mover, getting into the 30. See, warm, soft snow, a little bit of fresh snow. It's not the coldest of days here, just hovering above freezing now in the afternoon. Doesn't make for ideal racing conditions. Tiziano Gravier is on course. Man from Argentina, 45th after the first run. There's a DNF for Clement Talerac from France. I think that was him we just maybe saw on the right-hand side. This should be Tiziano Gravier from Argentina. Had a great season down in Argentina, South America. A lot of snow was falling. So many.
Non, mais là je pars. Merci. Ouais, merci. Merci d'avoir été 16e temps. Ouais, ok. Chier.
Into the points due to the snow conditions, unless you ski like Freddie Carrick Smith. So 34th place for the Slovenian. That is okay. Max Clara now for Italy. Got another DNS on the second run. Peder Lunder from Norway will not take to the start. Max Clark. Jakob Eisner on course for Austria. Here he is. And that's second split. 4.39 the difference. That second split, not enough to get into the 30. It'd be unlikely. We actually do have a tie between Andre Moser and Leo Baraldi. Actually, that is second run times. I'll jump back to the right page. 3.84 you've got to be within to get into the top 30. Eisner into 40th place. Unlikely at this stage that anybody else does squeeze in to that top 30. So Eisner goes into 30th. Dominic Ott next to go. There's just a small break whilst there's some more course work going on for the final few skiers. Freddie Carrick Smith, the winner today. It for Alpine Skiing, where the young guns and a few established stars are trying to establish or re-establish themselves at the top end of international ski racing. For someone like Freddie Carrick Smith, it's just a free hit. He's 18 years old. He's gaining experience. That is okay at this stage, and he's on a bit of a charge here. See how much time he loses over the bottom section. Everyone is losing time on this bottom section of the course. Santa Croce from the USA, last turn to negotiate, and he goes into 36th place, and that's okay. He's moved up 17 spots in the final run, second run. Lorenzo Thomas Bini and Marinus Senhofer both. And Bini crosses the line, 39th place. Senhofer on course for Germany through the first split already. Harry Laidlaw on course as well for Argentina. Do beg your pardon, for Australia. Here is Senhofer, 4.81 back at that second split, so just the two splits on the course here. Senhofer, sort of a little pivot there onto that left foot, got to fight for the final turn, clatters through the control gate into 43rd place. So Harry Laidlaw underway. Tranquina from Morocco also underway, and then just 3 more to go on the second run. Here is Harry Laidlaw now, 3.91. So climbing a little, but in this game it's all about top 30. Yeah, you might improve your points. I'm not sure today will be one of those days for Harry Laidlaw. Might improve your points. I'm not sure today will be one of those days for Harry Laidlaw. And Laidlaw crossing the line here, goes into 41st. So 3 to go. Tranquina underway. He was 3.4 off at the first of the splits. The man from Morocco. Just hearing DNF for him. So Zucchini from Italy has pulled out of the start gate. He is through the first split. You never know, the occasional course worker can veer into the direction. Doesn't happen often because the people here in Valloire are super experienced, and with challenges, low conditions, they've done a great job of getting this race on and ensuring we had a quality show today. What drama on the second run.
Valloire respire le ski de compétition. On a une piste, la Cétaz, là, qui est vraiment exceptionnelle, qui est digne d'une des plus grandes pistes de Coupe du Monde en géant.